Host of America Right Now, Tom Basile, joining us to take a deeper dive into new polling just 11 days away from Election Day. Tom.
All right, folks, let's take a look at those numbers. We start off with a look at the swing states in the latest data from the 538 averages. Former President Donald Trump leading Vice President Kamala Harris in 4 of the 7 battleground states. Trump ahead in Georgia right now, Pennsylvania, North Carolina, and Arizona. And take a look at Michigan and also Wisconsin. Less than a point, two-tenths of a percentage point difference between the two candidates in Wisconsin, 0.6 of a percentage point difference actually 4 or 6% in Michigan as well. Let's take a look at the national race by New York Times and the Siena. It's a dead heat. Trump and Harris tied at 48 with now 10 days left to go. Now, I want to go back in time a little bit. Let's look at the electoral map and the projections in 2016 at this time. If you look at it right now in 2016, and this was one of the last projections of how the electoral map would shake out, 274 for Clinton at this point, 188 for Trump, and 76 swing states. Fast forward to 2020, this is from 270 to win, and NPR, again, one of their last projections at this point in the campaign, 279 for Biden, only 125 for Trump, and 134 swing states. Now let's look at the state of the race as it exists today, 211 Dem and 234 GOP. So this is a much better position overall for the Republicans, certainly better than 2020 and certainly better than 2016. And if the election were held today and you look at those polling averages that we just showed you in those swing states, see what happens here. Georgia, North Carolina, and Arizona and Pennsylvania, you go to 296. For Donald Trump. It's also very close in the state of Nevada. Keep an eye on Nevada, folks. It's usually not that close, and it's less than a point difference in the polling data right now. So again, it's a close race, but the Republican candidate seems to be in a much better position now to win as opposed to the last 2 presidential elections that Donald Trump has run in.
Yeah, and that's such a great visual, Tom, that you're able to share with us and our viewers here, because you don't even have to win Michigan or Wisconsin if you're Team Trump. You've got to win, though, Pennsylvania. You have to win Pennsylvania or Michigan. I mean, I think that's the way that it kind of works out. Mm-hmm. He doesn't have to run the table. He's got to win. He's got to win either Pennsylvania or Michigan. And look, he needs to hold the states that he needs to win. Arizona, Georgia, and North Carolina are traditionally go for the Republican candidate. He lost 2 of those states in 2020. He needs to pick them back up again and then bring in Pennsylvania or Michigan. And right now, it's incredibly close in both of those states.
How do we set, because I think it's fair and it's necessary, expectations of election night, what we will know, what we will not know. We've had, obviously, Pennsylvania, those from Pennsylvania in that state, and others, Arizona specifically, Maricopa County, come out and say this may take past election night to know who really wins. Yeah. There might be another red mirage that you see, and then counting, again, mail-in votes or those late early voters. Yeah. Can you talk to that point?
Yeah, look, and I remember when I was a kid, we always seemed to know who won the election on election night. It's not until we've gone to all of these different systems now that we seem to have this issue, but we're going to be following all of those numbers, and we're going to be getting readouts here at Newsmax from the secretaries of state in those states, how many ballots are outstanding. We've also had a lot of people early vote in person. Over 30 million people have already voted. Those those are going to come in quick. But it is a complicated question to answer, right, Sean, because we have so many different ways in which these votes are counted, and every state does it a little bit differently. Even counties, county by county, they can have some different rules. But that's one of the reasons why we're going to be doing all of this analysis right through Election Day and potentially beyond.